On this episode of MythBusters,
That was awesome!
Adam and Jamie are cooking up a storm
Hot bullet.
with hot bullets.
Smells like science.
Will guns and ammo stored in your stove or bullets tossed on a campfire
This is the kind of thing I do on the weekend.
lead to a lethal lead shower?
That was fun.
Then Carrie, Grant, and Tori
You want a piece of me?
take a bullseye view testing the age-old adage, red flag to a bull. And will the saying, bull in a china shop, stand up to science?
This is ridiculous.
Who are the MythBusters? Adam Savage. I'm so pumped! And Jamie Heineman. Between them, more than 30 years of special effects experience.
That is so wrong.
Joining them, Grant Imahara,
That doesn't look dorky at all.
Tori Belleci,
Bang it, bang it, bang it.
and Carrie Byron.
High explosives and electricity. Woo!
They don't just tell the myths, they put them to the test.
So, Jamie, can you tell me how, as the MythBusters armorer, you store our guns and ammunition?
Why? We keep them properly locked up in a gun cabinet in a safe place.
Excellent answer. Now, I want you to posit a story with me. A husband and wife are going on a summer vacation. They have some guns, they have a little bit of ammo, and they want to store them in a place that no one would find them and steal them. But they don't have a proper locking gun cabinet. So, the husband comes up with a plan he thinks is ingenious, someplace no one would ever look for guns or ammunition. His oven.
I'm not sure what, but something tells me there might be a problem with that.
Your intuition is correct, because they come back from summer vacation, and I guess famished by the long drive, the wife goes to make a roast, preheats the oven, and
Metal popcorn.
exactly, they have a very healthy diet that evening of lead.
Incredibly, it's true. We have several reports of careless gun owners using their kitchen oven to store their munitions. But the fan site is clamoring for answers. Would the bullets even explode at standard oven temperatures? And if they did, would they escape the oven with lethal consequences?
What's the plan?
Well, astonishingly, we have more than a few reports of this actually happening, of people storing not only live ammunition, but also loaded guns in their ovens and accidentally turning them on. And I think we should test both scenarios.
Okay, well, let's get an oven and get to work.
Absolutely. I think we should start with the control, though. We do want to know how bulletproof an oven actually is. So I think we ought to head off to the shooting range with several different kinds of ammo and see what kind of damage we can do.
So the plan is to pick up some spare parts and head on down to the gun range, where Adam and Jamie will begin the investigation by testing the bulletproof qualities of oven doors.
All right, so we've come to the South San Francisco Police Department because they've got a shooting range that we've been filming in, well, ever since Ice Bullets. We've also done finger in a barrel, shooting down a barrel, bullets fired up, and bullet in teeth. Today, we're going to be shooting at a bunch of oven doors. Now, this is a control for our ammo in the oven test to see exactly how bulletproof an oven door is, and if it's not, how lethal is the bullet after it gets through.
With the help of supervising adult John Stankovitz, Adam and Jamie intend to fire a variety of weapons at the steel and glass of the oven doors.
Here comes another Grant. Look at that.
And to find out if a door-piercing shot is lethal, Grant is going to play the part of the curious, careless chef. Jamie steps up for the first test, and he's using the smallest weapon at his disposal.
Firing.
But even the .22 caliber pistol easily penetrates the double layer of toughened glass and Grant's head.
It's about 3 inches of penetration going through both panes of glass.
Well, I'd call that a kill shot.
Yeah, pretty much without a doubt.
And it's conclusive evidence that any loaded weapon will make it through the glass and cause a lethal injury. But what about the steel? Grant and his ballistic bust breathe a sigh of relief because the round failed to make it through.
Yeah, I'd say you're reasonably protected by your oven from a .22 shell. I think it's time to try the .44.
44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44. But this time, the metal door frame is no protection. The .44 caliber round gives Grant a lethal headache, and Adam and Jamie have their worst-case scenario baseline.
Grant wants to know what's next.
That would be the shotgun.
Now, none of the reports our researchers uncovered mentioned a loaded shotgun. But if it's worth doing, it's worth overdoing.
All right, Jamie, here's your motivation. This oven door is run off with your wife. And you decided to gear up and get even. So go for it.
Oh!
I guess the moral is, don't elope with Mrs. Heineman.
I think that's enough.
Okay, playtime's over. Let's get the results.
It's clear the oven door is no barrier to most firearms that you would idiotically store in your oven,
Yeah.
and that there might actually be something to this myth.
Yeah, only the smallest caliber, and even that's not safe, especially if it hits glass.
It may seem that the testing we've done today here is a little gratuitous. I want to make it clear that we're just trying to get a really good control. We want to know what these bullets do to the oven doors, both the glass and the metal, in the worst case scenario. And they all seem to be similar amounts of pretty darn lethal. But that gives us a perfect baseline with which to continue the testing. And the next thing we do is we start baking some bullets, getting some lethal popcorn.
What did you just say? Okay, I heard what you said. Why did you say it?
Dude, we're doing rodeo myths.
Oh, cool. Which one?
Red flag to a bull, cowboy.
That's when the color red, infuriates the bull and it comes charging after you.
I have always wanted to test that. Yeehaw!
Now he's on board.
Everyone's heard the saying. A red rag or red flag, and supposedly a bull just can't help himself. It sets him off, infuriates him, makes him plain bucking mad. Or does it?
Okay, so how are we going to test this? I mean, these bulls can weigh over 1,500 pounds. Not only are they dangerous, they're really unpredictable.
I think it's really simple. I'll just put on a red sweatsuit, I'll stand in the middle of the ring, and we'll let some bulls out and see if they charge me.
All right, slow down, partner, before you start racing around in red. There's a rodeo in town. Grant and I will go down to the Cow Palace and find out exactly what you'd be in for. Because we make better decisions about your safety than you do.
A good idea. With Tori's career as bull bait on hold, Carrie and Grant mosey on down to where bulls are treated like royalty, and the clowns put their limbs on the line.
So, you are a rodeo clown here at the Grand National Rodeo.
Yes, sir, sure am.
What does that job involve?
Well, you know, when a cowboy falls off the bull, we go in there and get in between the bull and the cowboy and try to take him away. But we have to time it just perfect, you know. When the cowboy is at the point of no return, we go in and pull the bull off of him.
So is this a dangerous job?
Oh, yeah, it can be a very dangerous job. I've lacerated my pancreas. I've had a bull stick his horn through my arm. I've had a bull that I didn't even see him coming. He hit me right in the side. He actually broke my femur in 4 places.
Oh, my God. Okay, now I'm a little scared for Tori.
What would a bull, one of these bulls, do to a guy like that?
He can take a cowboy and toss him about 30 foot in the air. It's unbelievable how strong these animals really are. That's 1,800 pounds right there, and I mean, when it's coming on full force, it's nothing nice.
Sorry, you're not getting into that ring until we're sure the bulls aren't going to charge you.
All right, so how are we going to test this myth?
Well, this myth is about color, so I think first we need to isolate the color red, see if that's what makes them charge.
Let's hang up a couple different colored flags and see if the bull goes for the red one every time.
Cool. You know, one other thing we should test is the presence of a human and motion, because those matadors are constantly moving when they're in the ring.
Okay, we can build a set of robotic matadors.
All right. So the team begins by making 3 makeshift matadors, each capable of waving a different colored flag. And you could say they're itching to get started.
Thanks. Wait, no, I got another itch, but it's lower. Can you reach that one? I can't reach. We're all dying, not really. I'm dying to get into the ring with that bull. I don't know if Carrie and Grant are, but it's just too dangerous. So what we're gonna do is use these molds to make some foam bodies. We already have Grant's head cast. We need to make Carrie's now, and then eventually I need to make one of mine. And then we're gonna put our faces on these dummies so that the dummies get hurt and we don't.
Gooey face molds make for good TV, but we've been there before. So let's cut to the puppet face-off.
Let's move.
So, Tori, what are we gonna do next?
Well, what we're gonna do right now is weld some of that stuff together, and then maybe I'll do something dangerous.
That sounds amazing.
Next, they need to put a body to the face, and Carrie has insisted they make them out of foam so they don't hurt the charging bulls.
That's great.
All right, one down, 2 to go.
As Tori completes the trio of foam bull bait, it all gets a bit weird.
See, the thing is, people don't know this. You get rid of the head, you get rid of the identity of the body. Remember, you gotta get rid of the hands and feet, too.
A little rough on your partners there, aren't you?
Before Tori does any more damage, Dr. Franken Grant brings the 3 foam bullfighters to life with a cunningly placed drill and a few hinges.
On this rail is gonna go a colored flag. And right here is a drill with a little crank. And when I activate it, what it'll do is move the flag back and forth, just like this. Hopefully enticing the bull to chase.
The final pieces of the puzzle are the colored flags.
This is how lazy people sew. Now, of course, we're going to test red because, well, that's what the myth is about. Does he look like me now? Then we've got white. White is such a high contrast to red, we thought that, that'd be the perfect opposite.
All right, dude, that's awesome.
And lastly, blue, which, I figure if you're looking at a black and white screen and you saw these two colors, they'd be very similar.
So the matadors are dressed to test.
That's what I'm talking about.
And with Carrie feeling the force,
Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're our only hope.
it's time to head on down to the ranch. Adam and Jamie are testing the myth that a kitchen stove used to store ammunition is not just a really bad idea,
I think that's enough.
but lethal. The guys are basing their investigation on an incident that supposedly left a husband and wife diving for cover, and their kitchen riddled with bullet holes.
So, what formerly was just an oven from the thrift store now is a full experimental platform. We've painted it white so that our high-speed camera can see clearly what's going on. We put tempered glass over here, several sheets to protect the camera. We put the bullet down there, we pipe in some gas, we get this thing hotter than HE double hockey sticks, and we watch some science happen.
But with baked bullets and grilled guns on the menu, they'll be watching the science from outside the bunker.
There's 3 questions we're going to answer with this test. One is, will the bullets really go off in the oven? I think the answer's going to be yes. Number 2, will they get out of that oven? And number 3, if they get out of that oven, how lethal are they? In our control tests in the shooting range, we have done a little bit of calibration of some ballistics material that is soundboard and plywood. We know what it means to be a lethal hit in this arrangement. So, any bullet that gets out of this oven through this door is going to be hitting this real bullet-swallowing backstop.
While Adam rigs a remote temperature probe, Jamie tweaks the oven for high-speed heating.
Looks good. Hot bullets.
The first test is a .22 caliber shell, which is placed on the rack with the bullet facing the door before the heat is cranked up.
That's perfect. Hold it there.
And with the cameras rolling, it's all systems go.
260. My oven never heats up this fast.
And while we wait for the .22 caliber casserole to cook, let's do some learning.
Let's talk a bit about how bullets actually work. They're in 4 parts. You've got the primer on the end, you have the case, You have the propellant inside, that's the gunpowder, and then you have the bullet itself on the end. Now, how this all works is that when you have this in a gun, there's a spring-loaded hammer that fires a pin into that primer. Sets that off, and that ignites the powder. Now, at that point, the bullet is pushed out of the case, and it starts to go down the barrel. That's how it works.
Meanwhile, back in the bunker, things are heating up. And at just over the 500 Fahrenheit mark, dinner's ready.
There you go.
But what happened?
Smells like science.
Bunker cam shows the glass of the oven door remained intact. And when the smoke clears, Adam and Jamie go into MSI mode. Myth scene investigation.
It's quite clear you oriented the bullet pointing out the window.
Yeah.
And yet, the only dent that I see is in the back of the thing, which means that has to have been made by the casing.
And there's a casing right below that.
Yeah. The shell casing was much more dangerous, it seems, than the bullet, which bounced off of glass.
When a cartridge is cooked, as opposed to shot from a gun, the powder sends the lightweight shell casing flying and not the heavier bullet. So on the next test, they up the caliber to .44 and flip it, so the bullet faces the back of the oven. So what's on the menu, Monsieur Savage?
Now, you're waiting for the temperature to climb for my greatest creation, the 44 caliber souffle. 472 degrees. There it goes.
That was it.
The glass is still there. No breaking of the glass.
Yep, just like the .22, the shrapnel from the .44 round failed to pierce the oven. So let's go for broke with a .50 caliber monster.
Let's take a comparison here. Oh, there's the .44. Oh, wait, and there's the .22. If anything's going to cause significant damage to the oven, it's this guy.
And around 10 minutes later, it sounds like Adam's prediction is spot on.
Oh! That's the explosion I was looking for.
A look at the high speed reveals a more energetic detonation than the previous tests.
Oh, we have broken glass. We have broken glasia.
Broken but not breached. Only the inner layer of the double-glazed oven door was shattered.
It was pretty violent, all right, but it's still inside the oven, so...
Even the 50 cal wasn't enough to get out of this oven. Probably scare the hell out of you. But it's not going to kill you. I'm really pleased with these tests. I think we've definitively proven that an oven at normal temperatures can get plenty hot enough to make bullets explode. I think we've also proven that those bullets aren't very dangerous to you as long as your oven door is closed. None of the bullets we blew up at these temperatures made it out of the oven door. What I'd like to know now is, if I chambered a bullet inside a pistol and put it in the oven, would it explode in any way that would be dangerous?
Going back to the myth, our guy not only stored his ammo in the oven, he left his guns in there too. So this test is the absolute worst case scenario. A loaded .44 caliber revolver facing the door.
Hot bullets! Get your hot bullets here!
I think that went off.
I think you're right.
And I think I heard glass shattering.
The evidence paints a deadly picture. The bullet left the barrel at a lethal velocity, shattering the toughened glass before penetrating the wooden backstop.
It's a perfect result for us because the ammunition in every way that we tested is totally busted. None of it ever got out of the oven with any force that could be construed as dangerous. However, the moment you put one of those pieces of ammunition into a weapon, it becomes really deadly.
You might wonder why a bullet is not as dangerous if it's just set off outside a gun as it is when it's shot out of a gun. The reason is very simple. When it's outside of a gun, it just kind of goes off like a firecracker in all directions. When it's inside a gun, all that energy is just pushed right behind the bullet. It's very directional. That's what makes the bullet lethal. That, my friend, is a kill.
Yeah, putting a pistol or gun loaded in your oven is a very, very easy way to get yourself shot.
Yeah, not just shot and killed.
A loaded gun in an oven could kill you. Myth confirmed, I'd say.
Confirmed.
Carrie, Grant, and Tori are testing red flag to a bull, but they've plenty of experience busting and proving proverbs. With the help of modern technology, needle in a haystack was busted.
We have found all 4 needles.
And you can teach old dogs
Mush.
and old MythBusters new tricks.
Totally busted. And one of the more cuddly myths we've ever done.
All right, so red flag to a bull. Where do we stand?
All the flag-waving dummies are done. We've dressed up the Carrie one in red. We'll see if that drives them wild.
No, I'm sure it will.
That's good, because I got some bulls for you. Rodney the rodeo clown set us up with a friend of his who apparently has some angry bulls.
Sweet. All right, well, let's pack up and get up there.
I heard that.
But back to the cuddly bulls. So our 3 amigos have their bulls, and their destination, the Kish Bull Ranch. And with the matadors ready for action,
Kinda creepy, huh?
it's time for a plan. And this series of tests has been designed to find out if a red flag will make a bull charge. And if not, then what does? The team will compare static flags to movement and introduce the makeshift matadors. But first things first, the setup for the single red flag test.
Let's run a zip line all the way across the arena. We could tie a flag to it, just leave it static first, see if the bull charges.
Well, you guys set that up. I'm gonna go talk to the ranch owner and see what kind of bulls we have. Do they have different temperaments, like personalities?
Very much. They're a lot like people. You watch every bull. Some bulls are gentle. Some bulls are wild. Some bulls are, you know, real alert.
Good thing there wasn't a pitchfork in there.
Some bulls are real lazy. They're everything.
You want a piece of me?
Do we have a good chance of one of these bulls charging for us?
Oh yeah, they'll charge. They're by nature and their breeding, that's what they do.
These bulls look ready. They look more than ready. So maybe we should get out of the pen and get the tests going.
Okay, test number 1, static red flag.
Okay, go ahead, let the bull out.
Oh, this guy's full of fire.
Whoa!
Dude, he's going for it.
Just like the myth suggests, the bull is not happy with that red flag.
Well, maybe we should try the blue flag and see if he has the same reaction.
Okay, all right, let's switch it out.
The bull totally charged the red flag, but it was the only thing in the pin. So to make sure that it's the color that attracted the bull, we put a blue flag in the pin. We're gonna do the test again with another bull. Wow.
Ah!
Well, he did go for the blue.
Not totally convinced,
Well,
unless he
not.
goes again.
There we
Oh,
go.
Here he goes. Here he goes.
This is great.
Yeah.
Yeah! All right, you satisfied? Would you say he charged the blue flag?
He definitely charged the blue flag.
But satisfied I'm not. I think we should try the white one as well.
But the single white flag yields exactly the same result.
Well, there's your answer.
All right.
It seems that any flapping piece of cloth annoys these bulls, meaning this myth is already on shaky ground. And the next test, a multiple choice, confirms that suspicion.
Perfect. All 3.
That 3 flag flyby means only one thing. These bulls just don't care for color. But if it's not color, what exactly is it that's bothering our bovine friends? This next experiment will test the theory that it's a moving flag and not a red flag that infuriates them.
Going for blue.
With Grant in control of the blue flag with his remote control,
Oh, he's going for the blue one.
the results are there for all to see.
Move it, move it, move it, move it, move it. Look at that. Dude, I am totally convinced.
It's movement that triggers an aggressive charge response and not the color red, which leaves the myth looking busted and our trio of tall tale tacklers speaking in bull.
Those are whales.
Back at the ranch, Carrie, Grant, and Tori are hot on the trail of the red flag to a bull myth.
What we've done so far is taken several different colored flags, red, white, and blue, and compared them to motion. And it looks like at this point, the bull is preferring motion over color. What we're gonna do now is add the human element. We've got our 3 dummies lined up, and they're gonna be waving their flags and see which one the bull goes for.
Oh, now he's going for white. Look at that.
Now that is conclusive. The bull went straight for the white dummy, and Grant's stunt double requires CPR.
Don't give up on me now!
Are you done playing with yourself?
There's 2 dummies still standing, and for the final showdown, the guys decide to up the ante.
Apparently these guys have a Mexican fighting bull, and these things are trained just for that, to attack.
Oh, he's going for the camera!
Oh, he picked out the camera!
The camera is what's known in the business as toast. And after the bull ignores Carrie, so is Tori.
Oh, he just moved past.
Oh, wait, look at that. Isn't that cool? It's like the last one standing is Carrie Red.
Yep, quite simply, color is irrelevant. These bulls just want you to butt out.
Well, now that we've wrecked 3 of our dummies, I guess we have 1 left.
Well, buddy, it's your turn to suit up.
Are you serious? I get to go in the ring?
Yeah, well, you know, we've proven that red specifically is not what's making them charge. So I'm fairly certain that if you put on a red suit and stand completely still and the bullfighters run around you wearing other colors, that you probably won't get hurt.
And to confirm Tori is unlikely to be gored for science, Grant Carey and our hands-on expert from the University of Phoenix, Professor Andrews, have been discussing a bullseye view.
So far, our findings do not show that red does anything magical. They seem to go towards movement rather than actually for the color red. Why is that? Are they colorblind?
Well, it's a common misconception that they are colorblind, but in fact they're not. In the last 10 years, people have looked at animals with hooves and found out that they're what's called dichromates. They can see 2 main color types. Humans are trichromates. We can see the rainbow and all the colors in between.
Color perception is a complex field of study, but basically, the human eye has 3 types of cone cells that help us distinguish color. But cattle only have 2, so although they can see reds and blues, it's likely they see the world with a muted palette of color, like this.
Okay then, so bulls can see red, but there is no scientific evidence to prove that makes them any more enraged than any other color.
Absolutely. There is no scientific evidence to support that.
Which puts the final nail in the coffin for red flag to a bull. And risking joining the myth in this coffin is Tori, who's quite literally putting his limbs on the line for science.
Nervous? Hell yeah, I'm nervous.
Despite the fact that Tori was an extra in Breakin' 2 Electric Boogaloo, I just don't know if he's got the moves to get away from a charging bull.
This is our ultimate test of the color red to a bull myth. Now what Tori's gonna do is he's going to wear a full red jumpsuit and stand in the middle of the arena completely still. We have 2 professional bullfighters that are gonna be running circles all around trying to attract the bulls. We think that motion is what sets them off and not the color red. So if the bulls attack the cowboys, but they don't go for Tori, we will have definitely proven something about this myth. Personally, I'm really concerned.
This is starting to feel like a bad idea. Tori, are you ready? I don't know. Yeah, I guess.
Let's do it.
Okay, release the bull.
This is it, the moment of truth.
Those guys running around.
It's a good start. The angry 1,000-pound bull has so far only charged the moving cowboys.
Somebody come back to this side now. Back over to this side.
But suddenly, with the cowboys out of position, Tori is left exposed. Will the myth or Tori be busted?
Everybody stay sharp. He's on the Tori side of the ring. He sees Tori. More movement! More movement! Good job, dude. Good job.
He was looking right at me.
I know.
Toreador Tori survives. And as the bull is ushered away, everyone lets out a big sigh of relief.
Tori, I think we got it.
We just finished the test, and it was a perfect result. 1, I didn't get hurt. But 2, the bull came out, and it was looking at us, but his attention was always on the bullfighters. All right, should we do a couple more?
No.
I'm not gonna lie, that was a lot of fun. But we proved something too.
Yeah, the color red is not what causes the bulls to charge.
They had no preference to color at all. In fact, it looked like they were going for whichever one was moving the most.
A good thing for me, red flag to a bull is busted.
Busted.
And we're glad you're not.
Jamie and Adam have confirmed that a loaded gun in your oven is a recipe for disaster.
That, my friend, is a kill.
But the guys are still fanning the flames of this myth. They want to test bullets on an innocent old campfire.
We've seen what happens when we put hot bullets into an oven, but I'd like to know what happens to them when they're unrestrained. And we have plenty of reports of people throwing bullets into a campfire. So I think that's what we should do next.
Sure. So it's hot bullets, take two. And this time there won't be an oven door in sight. Adam and Jamie are testing a campfire prank that could go horribly wrong.
We're putting things like bullets into a fire, and needless to say, it's kind of dangerous. So we're going to do this remotely, and I've come up with the idea that I might use this little remote control robot that I have. So I'm going to put some sort of a thing that I can tip or dump things into the fire with this safely from a distance.
Meanwhile, Adam's been building a ballistic teepee.
This is the system for detecting exactly how lethal bullets thrown in a campfire are. I'd love to use ballistics gelatin around the campfire, but because it's thermally reactive, it would melt. So I came up with this idea of wood and soundboard, and I'm going to place 12 of these around my metal framework, in the middle of which will be the campfire. This won't catch on fire, but as bullets are exploding in here, if they're lethal, we're going to see the marks they make in the face of these triangles.
It's time to hit the Alameda County Bomb Disposal Range, where the munitions expert is honorary Mythbuster J.D. Nelson. First up, there's a fire to be built, so our overgrown Boy Scouts swing into action.
I think that's about the fastest fire I've ever built. It drives bone out here.
You know, it's making me hungry for lunch, that great wood smoke smell.
Cue head chef Heineman and the hobo dinner.
I am making what is known as the hobo dinner. This is something I've been making since I was a kid, and I thought this was a unique opportunity to show it off.
This is the best cooking show ever!
It all kind of simmers together. It's really quite surprisingly good for being so rudimentary.
Wow.
When I was riding the rails towards the end of the Great Depression, I learned several things from my hobo mentors. One was how to apply microscopic dichroic layers to glass using titanium distilled from white house paint, and the other was the hobo dinner.
That is bloody delicious.
After lunch, Jamie takes us through the test setup.
This whole setup is very simple. We're going to have the robot back over near our blast chamber. Fire's going. We're going to load the bullets into the dumper on the robot, send the robot in, dump the bullets into the fire, see what happens.
Sparky the robot takes his deadly cargo on board. It's a brass cocktail of 50, 44, and 22 caliber bullets.
The dangerous thing about this one is that bullets can kill people. What we're here to find out is whether they'll kill people outside of a gun and set off by a fire.
Let's go.
This is Sparky!
With the fire roaring at over 1,000 degrees, Adam and Jamie are expecting an instant reaction.
Okay, anybody have issues? I'm going in.
Go for it.
Okay, going down.
Perfect!
I could not have gone any better.
But the show ain't over yet. At a close encounter of the ballistic kind,
Everybody get close to the shield. I heard those suckers going whizzing by us.
reminds everyone of the difference between this and the oven test. There's no steel box slowing down the shrapnel.
Oh, that was one of the big ones.
That was fun.
Okay, now I'm worried that the fire coals could set fire to our upright, so I'm inclined to wait a few minutes but then head in with the hose.
Why don't we unhinge one of these blast chambers and walk out with it?
I feel like we can get close enough with this. The other thing is that... All right, Let's walk with one of these ahead of us. I'm just keeping the panel between me and the fire the whole time.
It's clear there's a whole bunch of bullets that are just not fired.
Yeah.
They got ejected from the general mayhem there,
Yeah.
but didn't go off, which is actually an important part of the myth because you could throw a bunch in the fire and then think it was safe and go back in and then get nailed.
Right.
Oh, there's some hits.
The early conclusions from this forensic assessment indicate throwing bullets on a campfire could be lethal.
This right here is a .50 caliber bullet. Probably came out of a casing just like this. You see how much energy that is. It's a brass pipe bomb.
But a closer look reveals key details. Once again, it's the lightweight casing that becomes the projectile and not the bullet itself.
Check this out. This is the deepest pair of hits we took. This one matches the rear of the casing exactly, even the dimple.
Yeah.
That's the deepest one out of all those hundreds of bullets, and I don't think that would even still break your skin.
Yeah, I think personally you'd be pretty bloody, but you wouldn't be dead.
Now I look at our ballistics panels, which covered half of the area around that fire, and I only see 7 or 8 hits. So you double that for the area they didn't cover. 15, 16 serious hits out of 100 bullets. And in most of those cases, I was able to see that it was the casing that made the mark, not the bullets themselves. So I don't think bullets in a fire are actually lethal. I'm not saying that it's not going to cause you a world of pain. I mean, you don't need me to tell you not to hold on to a lit firecracker, do you? Oh! Well, you know me and Jamie, the fun can't end just there. There's been plenty of idiotic things that people have thrown into campfires, and we're going to try as many of them as we have time for.
Carrie, Grant, and Tori have already busted the myth that bovines are bothered by red. But the ball's still rolling around this bullpen.
Well, now that we have access to a whole herd of angry bulls, there's a saying I've always wanted to test.
What's up?
Well, you know how they say Tori is like a bull in a china shop?
Yes.
No.
I want to know what's going to happen if we actually put a bull in a china shop.
You mean, is it gonna be just dish carnage?
Yeah.
It's a vivid simile. When you say someone is like a bull in a china shop, it means they're clumsy, a klutz, and, you know, likely to break stuff. But surely it's time this old wives' tale was put under the microscope of modern science. And to kick things off, Carrie and Tori are down at Thrift Town,
Grandma?
where Carrie manages to get enough crockery to stock a china shop before Tori gets them thrown out. Back at HQ, with the help of the fast forward button, Carrie mocks up some bull-friendly foam shelves.
Now, I'm pretty sure that this foam board is not gonna hurt the bulls. But to make 100% certain, I want to test to make sure they don't get harmed. Did it hurt the bull?
I'm okay. I think the bull's gonna be fine.
After they fix those shelves and Tori's bulls, it's back to the ranch, where they set up shop inside a bullpen.
This one looks like it's ready to go without the bull.
That's the worst one.
With the china stacked precariously and the 1,000-pound bulls raring to go, the team is looking forward to confirming the age-old adage. In fact, Carrie is expecting some puntastic carnage.
Get it? Like wacky? Like wacky, but wacky?
Oh, I get it.
The H is invisible. Yeah, I'm sorry if my jokes are a little too intellectual for all you all to get.
Surely we're about to witness the most predictable outcome in MythBuster history. Bovine bedlam and a whole heap of cracked crockery.
Oh, dang! Here comes the bull. Oh, look, he's totally avoiding all the china. Hey, oh, nope. Nope. No. He's actually doing a lot better than I thought he would. Absolutely. Come over here. Yeah. Come on. He's browsing. He's totally browsing. He likes what he sees.
So the first guy has let the team down. They were expecting the bull in a china shop to be like, well, a bull in a china shop.
Whoa, he's getting right through the shelves without knocking over a single piece. That was cool.
Even when they up the ante,
2 bulls in a China shop.
the expected carnage is distinctly underwhelming.
Look at that. They're very careful of the break-in china.
We've tried actual bulls in our mock china shop, and I have to say I am really surprised at how nimble they are. They're almost daintily avoiding the shelves that we've set up.
They just don't want to break the china.
Check this out. You know what? I didn't even think I could run that fast in a china shop. Wow.
This is ridiculous.
Like all great MythBusters stories, it's the ones that defy expectations that give the team the greatest pleasure. They came here wanting crockery catastrophe, but they got a bull ballet.
That was nothing like I imagined it would be.
In fact, I think we're gonna have to just admit it. It's a stupid saying. I'm never gonna use it again. Bull in a china shop busted.
Busted.
Yeah, it's busted.
I think there's a gravy boat over there I want.
Got it. Yeah!
Adam and Jamie are playing with fire. They toasted ammo and found out it's a dangerous, but probably not lethal pastime.
That was fun.
But they ain't done yet. There are a host of news reports and claims by fans that campfire conflagrations with beer kegs and aerosols are lethal.
Exposure to temperatures above 120 degrees may cause bursting.
Right, here goes bug spray. Go for it.
Now, it's possible you may ignore the warnings on the can,
This is the kind of thing I do on the weekends.
or you think the elaborate safety precautions are just for show.
Let's give some deodorant to our robot and send him to the fire.
But really, don't try this at home.
There we go.
Perfect.
Because seconds or minutes later, and you won't know which, this could happen.
Oh!
And where's the other one?
The other one's out front. Oh! Yeah! That was awesome!
Quite simply, it's the reason a Mythbuster gets out of bed in the morning.
Oh my God, that's like, it doesn't get any better than that. Oh, it's staying in frame. Oh, cooperative. Oh, that's awesome.
That's wonderful.
Awesome and dangerous. And considering the warnings on the label, not surprising. But what about the myth? Would these fireballs be fatal?
Well, I don't necessarily think it's lethal. It definitely took a while to happen. So you might think, oh, well, I guess nothing's gonna happen, and come back over and hear, boom, all of a sudden your head's in a fireball and you're missing an eyebrow. And I know what that's like.
Am I missing an eyebrow?
It's not pretty.
Spray cans aren't as immediately dangerous as bullets, perhaps, but they build up and they're actually potentially more lethal in the long run, especially if you're wearing flammable clothing.
Next up, I think, though, we're gonna go to the main big source fire instead of a small one here, because I got something really big to surprise Jamie with.
Bullets and paint cans aren't good enough for you, huh?
No, we have something else that people have thrown on a campfire.
What's that?
Beer keg.
It's a dangerous frat boy stunt, and the fan sites are abuzz with rumors that it could be lethal. And the Mythbusters are itching to find out.
Oh, geez, hold on. Dude, no one would throw a full keg onto a fire. It's just not gonna happen. Okay, here's what I'm envisioning. It's the end of the night. There's only like a quarter tank left. The beer's almost gone and it's warm.
And they're all sloppy drunk.
And that's when someone throws a keg on the
Let's
fire.
throw the keg on the fire.
We need to, we need to get rid of most of this beer.
They've crossed the line this time. I'm against this.
Jamie hasn't wasted this much beer since Prohibition.
Of course, Jamie wouldn't have poured beer away during the 20s. He was running a speakeasy. With the keg primed and ready to blow, Adam and Jamie turned their minds to safety.
fire is really hot, and this is not an undangerous thing to do. But we have a couple of pieces of safety gear here. One, we've got the fire suit, which can protect us from the heat. And the other is, well, we're here with the Alameda County Sheriff's Bomb Squad, and we got their Bomb Squad van, and in the Bomb Squad van is a bomb suit.
Hail, people of Earth! I come in peace.
So what we're gonna do is Jamie's gonna put on one, I'm gonna put on the other.
Oh!
And suited up in the bomb suit and the fire suit, we're gonna go put that keg exactly where we want it.
This could be a huge explosion. There's an awful lot of energy contained in that fire, and that energy is going to be transferred to that beer keg.
Yeah!
We need to be careful with this.
Okay.
This could go off right now or an hour from now for all we know. But that fire is hot.
Yeah, which means it's gonna bring the stainless steel to its fatigue point, and it's gonna build up a tremendous amount of steam pressure inside from the gallon of beer we left.
Yeah.
So hopefully those two things will combine to make it go off within, I'm guessing 20, 25 minutes.
Which, as it turns out, is a pretty good guess. Because 20 minutes later...
Whoa!
Okay, everybody in close. Okay, shrapnel comes down.
It's the patented MythBuster Big Boom.
Yeah, I smell like roasted grain.
That's pretty darn, that's an explosion.
That was energetic.
No shrapnel, though.
No?
Not that I can see.
A closer look confirms Adam's hypothesis. Because despite peeling like a metal banana, the keg is still in one piece.
As far as I'm concerned, if any single piece of this actually,
That almost made it off.
that almost made it off. Any piece of this, especially this center cap, which really almost made it off, comes off of this with the force that we heard, it's tearing right through you. That hits you in the head, you're dead. Hits you in the chest, you're dead.
That's nasty.
An opinion not tempered by the slow motion details.
Wow, look at that. Dude,
Talk about a beer shooter.
that is, oh, wow. I tell you, anything in front of that beer keg, a log, a rock, a stone, gonna become a lethal projectile.
That was like a cannon.
All right, let's recap this. Things to throw in a campfire. What is the case with bullets?
Bad idea. Minor injuries, probably not lethal.
Aerosol cans.
Also a bad idea. Also probably injuries. Also not lethal.
And beer keg.
Bad idea to waste beer.
Yeah.
Very dangerous. Possibly lethal.
I'd say a high probability of being lethal.
Yep.
And never a good idea to waste beer. So do you have the chocolate?
I thought you had it.
Oh, no.